sounds very strange. Hold on, let's get the music back on. Get everything running again. There we go. Chat's back. Sorry guys, I have no idea what happened with that. That's very unusual. Never happened before. Anyway, so as I said, I'm just going to be answering questions while I do various bits and bobs regarding videos. So right now, we have one to upload, so let's get right into that, shall we? Maybe it's a bad idea uploading a video while doing a stream, but hey, you know, we appreciate and we learn from our mistakes here. I don't know what that means. Ask me questions, you know, keep this whole thing going. Tell me if the music needs to be turned up or turned down. Hello there, Small. Nice of you to join us. So, just mentioning it again, I have had to switch back to my phone for live streams, simply because the microphone quality on my camera isn't all that great. So until I can afford an external microphone for it, we're just going to stick to live streams on my phone. Quality's a bit worse, like video quality, but the audio quality is better, so it evens out. Hold on. Let's just delete that forever. Alright. So right now I am uploading me and Vicky's reaction to The Owl House Season 2, Episode 2, Escaping Expulsion. That's the episode title. So let's just get to that. Best start to any stream ever, to be honest. Thank you. We try around here. We try our best, and that's what matters. Alright, so let's see here. Now I've got to try and think of a description for this. Right off the top of my head. On stream, lovely. Okay. Let's think here. Escaping Expulsion. It's the really big first, like, Synchron first big Lucinamity moment. So, I gotta mention something about them blushing. Me and Vicky go insane over sapphic blushing witches. There we go. That's all right. Yeah, fine. So this is just going to be a new thing we're going to be doing. Possibly every Friday. I hope it's going to be every Friday, but who knows what the future holds. Currently, I'm trying to get a job, so you know that's very fun. But yeah. One second. All right. So, just going to upload this, and then we're going to get started. Today, we're going to be writing quite a big chunk of the Amphibia video essay I'm working on, called How Amphibia Became Disney's Greatest Love Story, which is all, you know, preparing for the finale. I believe I got up to the point where I just start discussing Marcy at the Gates, because I have rewatched all of seasons 1 and 2 so far. Let's see here. It's time for The Owl House Season 2, Episode 2, Escaping Expulsion. Perfect. As always, guys, tell me if music needs to be turned up or down. Let's see, what are we thinking? There we go. I never really think about how long it probably takes to edit an average YouTube video. It takes a long time. For the videos I make, let's just go about a reaction video. Well, a regular reaction video can take around like 3 to 4 hours to fully edit for me, and then the Vicky Watches the Owl House can take around 6, just because I try and put an extra bit of polish on those videos. As for video essays, those can range anywhere from between a week to 1 to 2 months. The teacher's pet video, which is the longest one yet, I think that was about 2 full weeks of editing. The audio was a little glitchy for me. What can I do about that? Glitchy in what way? Do I need to turn down the music? Is that gonna help at all? Do I need to get a bit closer? Just I don't know if you can tell, I'm not a very tech-savvy person. I'm basically flying by the seat of my pants whenever I do something like this. Okay. Alright, and I think that's just about ready, so let's upload that. Hope you get a job you enjoy. Oh, I mean, any job I earn money on is going to be a job I enjoy. Because, basically, I finished university now, but a lot of my friends are staying in, like, the town where we've been to uni. So, basically, I'm trying to get a job so I can afford to stay here with them for another year. No, it's gotten mostly better now, honestly. Oh, that's good to hear. Alright, and I believe that's been uploaded now, so we can get started working on some Amphibia scripts. Hold on, let me just check something. Yep. Fix that. Alright. As always, guys, just to repeat it again, any questions, I will answer them to the best of my ability. Hopefully at some point over the next few weeks, I'll be able to get Vicky on one of these streams, so that'll be fun. Hopefully. Not making any promises, because it's getting a bit hard to schedule things, just because we're both quite busy, especially if I do end up getting a job, but we'll make it work. We'll find a way. Alright. Let's just quickly get that. Pin that up there. Alright, so now that is sorted, I'm going to start working on the Amphibia script. Well, I say start working, I've been working on it for quite a while. Let's see what we're up to at the moment. Right now, the Amphibia script is 16 pages long, and I've only just made it to start to talk about Marcy at the gates. So let's just find out where that is. Just trying to find out where I last left off. A lot of scrolling has to happen. Oh. Sorry guys, laptop's being a bit weird. I don't have the best laptop. Have I watched The Dragon Prince, or am I only interested in Disney's work? No, I watch a lot of other shows on top of just the Disney stuff. I have not seen the Dragon Prince yet. It is on my watch list, though. Okay, music's being a bit... There we go. That's better. Right. I should probably... You know, it'd be a good idea. Because my friend also... I have a friend who also streams. What they always do is they always get sticky notes, so they always have something to talk about. That would probably be a good idea to do. It's so good. The score is amazing. I listen to it daily. Lol. I have heard some really good things about the music in that show. Hold on a sec. That's bizarre. And the music stopped. Why has the music stopped? That's awkward. I was not unable to get some chocolate milk today because the store I usually get it from, they were all out. So we have some juice, which, you know, is probably less likely to make my body absolutely hate me, so that's a plus. Oh, you just posted another reaction video. Indeed I did. That was the first thing we did on the stream. Okay. I don't know what's happening with the music, keeps cutting out. That's awkward. Okay. Sorry guys, technical difficulties, but I think you've come to expect those from me at this point. Oh, had some awkward things happen at the very start of the stream, but you know, hopefully we've gotten a bit past those now. So I guess we should talk about Amphibia, because that's kind of like, you know, the main thing I'm doing right now. So, at this point I've seen up to the Core and the King. I have some thoughts. So they've been bringing back a lot of the older characters, obviously in the most recent episodes. And while rewatching season one character that I'm shocked has not come back yet, and I'm hoping they find some way to include him, is Tritonio from Combat Camp. That's the episode. Because he has such a significant role in the series for being just a one-off. Like, he's the one who taught Anne how to fight and gifted her the blue sword, which has apparently been in his family for generations. So it's this whole thing of he was instrumental to this very significant development in the show and then just disappears at the end of the episode. Well, he doesn't disappear. He goes to Zootopia prison. Which means there is a chance that we could see him again. And if he appears again, like in the most recent episodes, don't spoil it because I'm going to watch those and record my reactions to them tonight. Oh, hello there, Haley? I'm sorry, how do I pronounce that? Chitoni, you say? That would be interesting. Very interesting. Oh... Yeah, if I ever accidentally stumble across a future plot point in my inane ramblings, don't tell me. It's a lot funnier when I have no idea. Alright. So... Ooh. Hello there, Sebastian. Nice of you to join us. Wonderful to see you. How's your day/night/morning/evening going? Ugh. Just working on this Amphibia video. It's a lot of fun, let me tell you. Alright. Marcy at the gates. Oh, the Amphibia video script so far seems like the magnum opus of your channel, to be honest. All of the multiple hour ones are excellent, but the Amphibia one has such phenomenal writing. Oh, thank you. You're talking about on my Patreon exclusive Discord server, I do upload scripts while they're in progress. So at this point on my Patreon Discord server right now, I have the entire Amphibia script up to the beginning of season 2. That's all been up there. Oh, sorry guys. Oh, music. Something's going on with my laptop and I don't quite know what it is. I really don't want to just cut off the music because last time we had the stream without the music, it just felt so empty. Oh, apparently the music decided for me. My app is shut down. Okay, fine then. That's fine. We will just type in silence. Love your Book of Pooh video though. Oh, thank you so much. That was such a really fun video to make. And to be honest, it was kind of a video where I started to sense how much I've improved lately. Because I just felt like the comedic timing in that video, and specifically like how sharp my writing was there, it just felt a lot more on point than my other ones up to that video. The Teacher's Pet one will always have a special place in my heart, even though it basically destroyed my uploading schedule. Which yeah. What's usually the process of making one video? Okay, well, it starts out with the fact I decide what I want the video to be about, which is usually decided far in advance because I have a long list of videos that I've wanted to make since starting the channel. So the Book of Pooh video, not necessarily a Book of Pooh video, but just a Winnie the Pooh video in general, that was one of them. The Recess video was one of them. The Star vs. the Boss Feeble video and the Muppets video were like the big 3 I wanted to make since the beginning. But once I have decided like which one I want to do, it is a case of watching whatever it is I'm talking about, making extensive notes, going over it multiple times, and then I'll start writing out the script. And as I'm writing out the script, I'll keep watching it. I'll keep going back to it just to make sure I reference things so I don't get any details mixed up. Sometimes I will just watch the movie and pause it and just as I'm writing the script because I feel like that helps a lot. And then after that, we obviously get into the recording process with my microphone, which I try and set aside like around 6 hours for like something like that. Because if I'm recording just a 1 hour video, it's going to take me around 3 to 4 hours to get through the whole thing. And then there's obviously retakes, because after I do that, I have to edit down all the whole thing, listen it through, and then, it starts coming together. Then I have to put it in my editing program, which I use DaVinci Resolve because it is free and very high quality for being free. So I get all that in the timeline, I get my footage, drop all that in, and then it's a case of just going through, picking out all the bits of footage, getting like a little section of it, and then I drop it into the timeline, make sure I have it all timed up with my audio, and the very last thing I do is add all the images and music, which is sometimes the most time-consuming aspect because I have to sometimes search really hard for some of those images, and I have to listen through a bunch of music tracks because even though I have like the same 1,000 that I use for all my videos, it's always trying to find the one that feels the most right for a specific section. So at that point, I'll listen through a bunch of them until I eventually find one, just think, okay, that sounds good there, and then I'll insert that in. And then I have to watch the whole video over multiple times, make sure you can hear all the audio over the music. So I might sometimes need to go back and decrease the volume on the music. And then just make sure there are no like editing glitches. It's like, there aren't, some parts of my footage can sometimes look a bit choppy, and in that cases I usually have to go back and redo that whole section. And then after that, it's just a matter of waiting for it to export, uploading it, and then spending an entire day just re-editing and exporting it until it finally gets past the copyright check system. So yeah, I wouldn't call it fun, but it's very rewarding, and I absolutely love doing what I do. Okay. Since they decided that we are apparently doing this without music, which... Okay, alright, my laptop just wants to quit on me. Then we're just going to start writing the Amphibia script. So, we are currently at Marcy at the gates. After 4 weeks on the road, the planters finally arrive at Zootopia. Yeah, the copyright process is a pain. Indeed! Oh god, the teacher's pet video. That video took an entire extra weekend to upload purely because of the copyright system. And the thing is, in that video, I had very long clips from the show. Disney had no problem with me uploading those. It was when I dared to include a more than 15-second clip of the movie. That's when they had to get really antsy with it. And even then, it wasn't just clips with audio, just using the footage, even if I'm talking over it. So that's why for the movie section, I had to make the video translucent and put another image over it just so I could get past. And then on my Vimeo, which I have because of Patreon, then I uploaded the whole thing there and left a link to it. It's the worst part of all this. It's making the videos is so much fun, and I really love doing it. But it's then when I have to spend an entire extra day, or sometimes even 2, just trying to get it uploaded. That's the most stressful part, and that's usually when I end up staying till up to 5 in the morning. Because in some cases, I've promised a video would get out on a specific day. So at that point, I just kind of have no choice but to stay up and just pray I can somehow get it through. Which I think the teacher's pet video was a little bit late, but it was close enough to being on time. So if you ever wonder why I upload videos sometimes really late and sometimes really early, that's why. I upload it whenever it finally gets through the copyright system. Molly Vlogs. Hello there. Hello, I love your reaction videos with your friend. Oh, thank you so much. Me and Vicky have a ton of fun making those videos. And, hopefully we are getting to... If over the next few weeks we can really buckle down and find just a full day, we could get caught up, or at least get to yesterday's lie, which is the last episode I have seen. So from that point on, it would be nothing but genuine reactions from the both of us. Which, I'm not really sure how that's going to play out, just that amount of chaotic energy. Because if you've seen my Owl House solo reactions, I go wild when I'm watching new episodes of that show. I mean, after this stream is done, if you want to go watch my video on Escaping Expulsion that I just uploaded, you will see that even though I've seen the episode so many times, it still gets me giddy whenever, we have those losing amity moments. It's very weird that they go crazy with clips from Marvel and Star Wars Disney Plus shows, and for some reason clips from the Teacher's Pet movie is another thing they are very strict with YouTube's copyright. Yeah, it just seems completely at random. Because, I did a full reaction. I did multiple videos on Candace Against the Universe. And I had very little to no problems with those. So I'm also hoping that when we get to Tiana the series and Moana the series and all those other Walt Disney Animation Disney Plus spin-offs, they're not going to be... It's going to be more of a Candace Against the Universe situation because I really want to get out a lot of content focused on those when they eventually release. Oh, Hello there, Squall. Nice of you to join us. How far is Vicky up to with the Owl House episodes at the moment? At this point, the one I just uploaded, which is Escaping Expulsion, is the most recent one that we have recorded. So the next one we'll be watching is Echoes from the Past, which... Oh, it's one of my favourite episodes, and I am so excited for Vicky to see it. Alright. So how I'm tackling the Amphibia video is it's going to be a lot less structured than my older, not really my older videos, but a lot of my other videos, because it's not a case of I'm just going in chronological order the entire time. It's going to be a lot more just hopping around, frogs, funny. I'm just going to be jumping around, like season 1 especially. It's a lot of just, sometimes I'll talk about things at the beginning of the season, sometimes talk about things at the end of the season, sometimes talk about things in the middle. It's very at random. It's really just going down all the bullet points that I have to address regarding the season. And, so you've got things like the comedy, the animation, Anne's Thai heritage, how the show handles character development, the Wartwood residents and how it introduces all of them. And then season 2 is a lot more simple because obviously it's split into several different story arcs. So you have the road trip arc, the Zootopia arc, the return to Wartwood arc, and then you have the temples arc, which also leads into True Colors. So, it's going to be a lot simpler because I'm very just hitting those bullet points in order. We're going through it all in chronological order. Ooh, hello there, everyone. Nice of you to join us. Lovely to have you today. So, if you're new to this, or right now, this is the first weekly stream that we're going to be doing on the channel. Right now, it's looking like it is going to be every Friday at this time, which hopefully can remain consistent. What I'm going to be doing on these streams remains yet to be seen. Right now, I'm just writing scripts for upcoming videos. But in the future, it might be a case of, I don't know, maybe we'll do some trivia challenges or something along those lines. Or it's really just about talking with you guys, because that's the whole main point of this. I think Amphibia is a great example in how to handle episodic comedy and serialized moments in modern animation. It seems they knew how to handle it. Yes, that is one of the main things with Amphibia, because every single episode is important, especially now with the context we have with the latter half of season 3. Every single episode is important because every single one impacts the characters on some level. So one of the main things I talk about, and something I have often always brought up when talking about Amphibia, is how the show handled Anne's character development in season 1, where she starts out, quite bratty, to be fully honest. She's selfish, a compulsive liar, and the show is not shy about that at all. And then over time, she has just these key experiences, and from that point on, she changes a little. So, after Contagion, the one where she thinks that she accidentally gave all the planters a deadly illness, she stops lying as much. And then, oh god, when does she stop being selfish? Well, I think it's around... Basically, Toad Tax is the big turning point for the show, but before that, there is just a lot of little moments that really build up to it, and it gives it just this sense of natural progression, because Amphibia and the way it handles character development, it's very gradual, and you see the development over time. It's not okay, there are these 3 key moments where you see this character's change. No, every single episode they are slightly different, and that is just one of the amazing things. And to think how much coordination that had to take on the part of the writers, it's astonishing to think about, really. Yeah, they managed to put comedy even in the most serious episodes, and the continuity is amazing. They're bringing back everyone, even characters who never expected to be back. Yeah, I never thought they would bring back Candyman and Apothecary Gary. Especially this close to the end, and with Apothecary Gary especially, they're leaving like a running plot thread for him that will likely be dealt with in the finale, which I would not expect him to play such a huge role in the final like event of the show, but here we are. I know we don't have a lot of time left, because at this point I need to. There are 2 episodes that I need to catch up on. Because up to this point I've only seen up to and including The Core and the King. So let's see here. Trying to think what comes next. Because I don't think it's the Newts and Tights episode. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it's the Newts and... No, I think it is the Newts and Tights episode. And then the ones airing this Saturday are like... not part 1 of the finale, but the lead into the finale. Didn't realise there was music playing in the background a lot. Actually, let's try and get the music back up, because I have no idea what happened there. Hold on. Yeah, some reason my app isn't loading. That's very peculiar. Oh, God. Technical difficulties. You learn to love them. Or tolerate them. Based on Muppets Haunted Mansion, what are other specials with them based on another Disney ride that you would like to see? Oh, wow. Okay, let's think. A Muppet Disneyland attraction ride. It's kind of weird because it's like I think back to the Muppets at Walt Disney World. So it's like you could say like Muppets Pirates of the Caribbean, but we already have Muppets Treasure Island, which kind of fills that void. Let's see. Tell you what, actually. Muppets Tower of Terror. That would be incredible. Do I have thoughts on Disney Junior shows in general? I haven't seen many of them. The only Disney Junior show I've watched recently is Muppet Babies, and even then I'm only like partway through season 2 with that. And I think that's a really enjoyable show. Oh God. No, I don't. Oh, and The Lion Guard. The Lion Guard, I did watch that. The Lion Guard, I thought it started out as a guilty pleasure. I was literally just watching that show to laugh at it. And then by the end of season 1, it actually starts to get kind of good. And then it stays there for the rest of the show, which I was really surprised by. Oh, wow. Oh, a lot of things. A lot of chat. The return of Jeremy was truly the greatest moment in history. Jeremy. I know there is an Amphibia character. Jeremy the Beetle. That's it. That's what was that. Because that's who Apothecary Gary has possessed. Okay, yeah. Am I excited for Zootopia Plus? I am excited for Zootopia Plus, but it is also a case of it could be so much more. It's not the Zootopia series I wanted, because it's just going to be like a bunch of shorts focusing on like the very like minor characters from the movie, which is going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have no doubt it's going to be very high quality. But I just want more of Nick and Judy, and I think most people do. And it's like, what are the parameters Disney is looking for here? So, like, why do Tiana and Moana get full series, yet Baymax and Zootopia Plus are just these very short form, like, little one-off projects? Uh, hmm. I don't want to, like, I know there are a lot of people excited for it, and I'm very excited too, but I can't help just be a tad disappointed that it isn't this, big Zootopia continuation that everyone has been wanting. Oh, did I now? Oh dear, let's fix that. Oh dear. Yeah, this is why we don't upload videos on stream, kids, because we end up titling them wrong. Because YouTube recently, they let you, when you're uploading, they allow you to select an option where you can copy over like the description, tags, and title from previous videos. So that makes it a heck of a lot easier, especially when you're uploading a lot of videos in a specific series. However, sometimes I accidentally forget to change the title, and sometimes I forget to change the description. So thanks to this very helpful comment here, I just realized that I accidentally uploaded hold on. There's something wrong with my laptop. It's not. That is very peculiar. Hold on, I'm just going to that is odd. Alright, I'm just going to shut it down and restart it, and hopefully everything starts working again. Right now, let's just keep up with the chat, because, it's going fast. I think my favourite episode of Season 3 has to be Olivia and Yunnan, because that was our introduction to the core, and just, yeah. My favourite episode of Season 3 that I have watched so far might honestly be Grimes' Pupil. I thought that was a really great episode, but I will have the reaction video to, let's see. I did 2 episodes in one, so I have the reaction video to Mother of Olms, Grimes' Pupil, Root of Evil, and The Core and the King. I believe that should hopefully be coming out tomorrow. Alright, this is sad. Alright, we're shutting down my laptop, and we're going to try this again. Oh dear. What would I think of a Bambi Disneyland dark ride similar to Peter Pan? I mean, yeah, I think like a lot of the older movies could do with a dark ride, to be fully honest. I mean, I have often stayed up at night thinking about what it would be like if, alright, my laptop's not working, so we're just gonna have to, yeah. I'm just gonna change it on my iPad. Alright, 21. Escaping. Expulsion. Whoopsie. How many comments do you think I've already gotten on that video? Okay, give me a moment. Let's get the chat back up. Alright. Elena of Avalor has amazing arcs and mature events despite being rated TVY7. Oh yeah, I'm going to check out Elena of Avalor at some point. That is a show that I'm really excited to finally get around to. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be covering it on the channel, because that's kind of the main thing now. Whenever I start watching a new Disney series that I haven't seen before, I have to weigh this debate of, am I just going to watch this for fun in my own time, or am I watching this for the sake of making a video? So, this whole thing, it's changed my relationship with how I watch, like, Disney media. Oh yeah, Elena of Avalor is one of my favourite shows ever. I did not expect it to be as good as it is. I am really excited to check it out, because I have listened to some of the songs, and they are really high quality. What would I do if I could make my own animated series? Oh, wow. Okay. Because I do have fun fact, which I think I've mentioned in a video before. Before I started like going into musical theatre and acting, I wanted to be a storyboard artist more than anything. And then I started my high school graphics course, which, I thought was going to be mostly about drawing. Instead, it's more about like production methods and materials. So even though I went to the graphics teacher before I selected that course and asked them, and they said, "Oh, this will be what you want," it was not. That kind of killed my passion for drawing, which was really sad. But after that, I just kind of threw myself into theatre, and that's when I figured out that that is where I want to be. But back then, I did have a lot of ideas for like what would happen if I made my own show. I guess I could talk about one of them a little. It wasn't an idea for a show, but when I was a lot younger, I had this idea for a movie. I think it was called Extraordinary, and basically it was this world where everyone has superpowers, except for some reason this one person doesn't. I was 12, so I didn't really consider like what it would be, but it'd probably be like some malfunction in the genetics. But basically, they're born without superpowers in a world where everyone else has superpowers. And because of that, obviously, they're quite an outcast. Until one day, this supervillain like shows up and is able to mind control all the superheroes because of something in their blood, which our protagonist doesn't have. And so it's basically up to them to save the entire world despite not having powers. And to do that, they have to team up with this retired supervillain. It was a lot of fun to like work on. I never really got far with it, but it's still a concept that I still think it has a little bit of merit to this day. And maybe someday I'll like dig it up again. Who knows? Make something out of that. But the thing is, to understand a lot of Elena of Avalor, you need to watch the Sophia, the first special from season 3. Okay. I mean, I just made an entire video on the Book of Pooh, so yeah, I'm kind of fine watching any younger shows at this point. If you could make an OC from the Owl House, what would be their name and what would they do? That's really difficult to come up with. I'm not really a person that makes OCs. Every time that I have made an actual OC, it has just been a case of one of my friends kind of made it for me and I adopted it. So I have this friend who's an artist, and they made me like my own Steven Universe gemstone, which was like a golden pearl, which that was really fun, but I don't really make them by myself. I wanted an old Disney show to actually come to Disney. Oh, if you wanted an old Disney show to actually come to Disney Plus, what show would I want to come to Disney Plus? Where do I begin? Where do I begin with that? Okay, let's start off with the obvious. Hercules the series, because then when I finally start reviewing those episodes again, I'll have high quality footage to use. Pretty much just any of the missing like spin-offs. So oh god. I don't think Disney Plus, like at least the UK version, I don't think it has 101 Dalmatians the series, and that's the thing. Because there are a lot of shows that are already on there in America that aren't on there in the UK. Pepper Ann. I really want to watch Pepper Ann, but unfortunately, when it came to America, it didn't come to the UK. So here we are. Let's think. What other shows? It's weird because I have a list. I have a whole list, and now my mind has gone blank. Because like I spent so much time devoting my energy to complaining about them not having Tangled seasons 2 and 3, and then they got Tangled seasons 2 and 3. I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, which is why I'm finally able to make my big Tangled the series retrospective, which is going to be coming in the next few months. That sounds a lot like the plot of Barbie Fairytopia. I did actually used to watch a lot of the Barbie movies because my sister had them all, and I probably enjoyed them more, to be fully honest. Let's see. I don't think I watched Barbie Fairytopia. I watched a lot of Mermaidtopia. I really liked that one for some reason. Your movie idea sounds like a superhero version of Encanto. Yes, but I'm just saying, I came up with that idea when I was 12 or 13. So we're talking 2011 to 2012. No, we're not. We're not talking 2011. No, because I started high school when I was 12. So, yeah, 12 to 13. But I started high school in 2012. Somewhere around that point. Basically, almost an entire decade before Encanto was even a thing. So, yeah. Who stole who here? Which millennial didn't watch the Barbie movies? They're like a tradition here in Mexico. I think they're a tradition everywhere. Although, if we're airing out our dirty laundry here, the one movie I loved as a kid, inexplicably, was Bratz Rock Angels. I just think that movie was genuinely hilarious. And it's also a case of I did used to watch the Bratz TV show. Which rejected Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network pilot would I think work as a Disney show? Honestly, I'm just up for any older pilots getting saved somehow. I was really happy when 12 Forever came to Netflix and then was subsequently cancelled. So, obviously for Nickelodeon, I really want to see them make, I think it was called Planet Panic. But for Cartoon Network, one of my biggest, pilot obsessions was this one called Back to Backspace, where it was basically about this land where every single rejected idea from the human world is sent, and it's managed by this girl called Katie, who somehow ended up there and has no idea where she's from. And the pilot is so weird but so interesting, and I just wanted to see more of it. And I am still holding out hope that eventually it is going to be picked up somewhere. A show I want to come to Disney Plus in any of the shows that include puppetry, like Bear in the Big Blue House. Oh, of course, I want to see Bear in the Big Blue House. I want to see that again, because that was my show when I was very, very young. It's according to my parents, I've been watching SpongeBob since I was 6 months old. I can't remember that, but I remember Bear in the Big Blue House. I remember being obsessed with that show. I still have a huge bear plush that I keep under my bed at home. I watched Playhouse Disney very, very late into my childhood. It's I think I was still about... When did it change to Disney Junior? Because I think basically, I still remember being 9 or 10, and I was still just actively watching Playhouse Disney all the time because I loved all those shows. Even the new ones they were coming out with. Oh. Yeah, busy road. Anyway, I loved all the new shows they were coming out with, oh god, what was Jungle Junction and Special Agent Oso were the last two new shows that I watched, but I did watch them for quite a while. but like PB&J, Bear in the Big Blue House, The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Stanley. I adored Stanley as a kid. If I could tell you the amount of stories I have of just going, like, walking through Disney parks, trying to find merchandise of specific shows and movies, and not finding it, I could make an entire video about that, to be honest. Maybe I will, if I ever someday become, like, an animation storytime YouTuber. Could you imagine? Stanley was GOAT. Indeed it was. Oh my god. I remember Stanley, the Great Big Book of Everything. Alright, we'll talk about it. So, one of the, not the last time I ever went to Walt Disney World, quite a few times until the last time, I really wanted to get, like, I think they had, like, Stanley action figures, or just, like, a figurine set or something, that I saw one time. And then, like, I saw it one time in one place, and then in the other parks I couldn't find it, and I was absolutely heartbroken because I really wanted them. And so for Christmas, my parents got me, like, a Stanley plush toy. I think I would have been, like, maybe 6 or 7. Maybe 5. And I took care of that thing like it was, like, one of those, like, baby born dolls. So I'd, like, every single morning, I would, like, get it in a high chair and try and feed it. I'd, like, try and give it breakfast. It was really weird. But hey, you know, you look at me, you think, that guy was probably a really weird kid. And probably still a really weird adult. And indeed I am. I remember watching preschool shows until I was 10. My favourite preschool shows was Thomas the Tank Engine. Let's see. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse ran forever. Let's see. God, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. What was it, like 2000? It wasn't like 2005. It might have been. Was it? Did Mickey Mouse Clubhouse go? I think it went for like 10 years, from like 2005 to 2015. Because I'm fairly sure Mickey Mouse Clubhouse survived, like, the transition from Playhouse Disney to Disney Junior. That's another one. My Friends Tigger and Pooh. I was obsessed with that one as well. And we'll probably make an entire video on it someday. I'm probably going to eventually cover every single thing the Winnie the Pooh franchise has to offer. Since you mentioned you love musicals, what are your thoughts on the SpongeBob musical? It's one of my absolute favourites. SpongeBob and Squidward are both some of my dream roles. Squidward's a bit more believable because for SpongeBob you have to be very acrobatic. And, you know, maybe with a bit of training, but for now. But, you know, tap dancing with 4 legs seems a bit more within my realm of plausibility. But no, oh god. I love the SpongeBob musical so much. It's, like, right up there on the list of musicals that, no matter what, I just someday want to be a part of it in some form. Alright, we should actually probably, like, try and get this laptop fixed, because this is really concerning me. Hold on. Have I listened to the Come From Away soundtrack? I've listened to quite a lot of it. The thing is, with a lot of, like, musicals, I don't want to, like, listen to them until I'm seeing them. It's like, I have a lot of, like, favourite musicals. So, this might, like, get my musical theatre kid, like, card revoked. But, I've listened to a lot of both Phantom of the Opera and Les Mis. I don't want to listen to the rest of them until I'm watching them live on stage. Because the first ever West End show I went to watch was Wicked. And I knew like 2 songs from that show. So when I actually started watching it, I had no idea what was going on. And that was one of the best experiences I've ever had watching a show. Same goes with the musical Ghost, which is based on the Patrick Swayze movie. I had no idea what that was. And I loved it. And then I went to watch Hamilton and Heathers. And because I knew those soundtracks so well, it made it a lot harder for me to get into it because I found myself constantly comparing them. And I didn't want to, but it just happened subconsciously. So I really like not knowing as much as possible about musicals when going in now. Obviously, there are a lot of them that, are a bit too late for that. But Come From Away, I've listened to some of the songs, but it's one of those I want to see and experience live. Which isn't going to happen this year because me and my friends are going to London again. We went last year as well. And we're going to go watch Book of Mormon, Dear Evan Hansen, and Jersey Boys. I actually did a local production of the SpongeBob musical. I was the French narrator. Oh, wow. Oh, that's incredible. No, no productions of SpongeBob have been put on in the UK yet. Unfortunately. What are some of my favourite songs from the SpongeBob musical? Oh, where do I begin? Simple Sponge is top tier. A song that I am desperately trying to learn how to sing properly. However, I'm a baritone. That song is clearly made for a tenor. So some difficulties are happening with that. Just the whole soundtrack. Bikini Bottom Day, No Control, I Guess I Miss You, Hero Is My Middle Name. When the Going Gets Tough. That's all. Oh, I love that one. Plankton rapping. Do I remember watching a show called My Friends Tigger and Pooh from Playhouse Disney? I've briefly discussed that. Yes, I absolutely adored that show while it was on. Actually, I think the first time I watched that show was in America. I think I was actually there when it premiered because I remember watching. The first time I ever watched it was on American Playhouse Disney. I remember that much. What's my favourite movie? I wonder. It's Oliver and Company. My favourite movie of all time is Oliver and Company. Oh, God. I need to get more merchandise, but I don't have the money. Some of those Oliver and Company plush toys go for 400 quid. Maybe someday I'll be able to get them all. Reminds me when people hear music from Steven Universe and then react to the show. Yeah, well, the thing is with Steven Universe and songs from TV shows, you can very much listen to them out of context in a sense, because they don't really. There's not enough songs to a point where you can't get a good grasp on the plot. So, in a sense of, you could listen to all the Steven Universe songs, then watch the show, and still have just a pure experience, because you know these songs, but you have no idea what their context is. When you listen to a musical soundtrack, they give you the entire plot, because that's what it has to do. So it is a case of, it's you can listen to Steven Universe, the songs, and have no idea what the show is about. You can't listen to, say, the Heather soundtrack and not come out of it knowing the entire plot of the musical. Oh, I'm Not a Loser. I can't believe I forgot that one. AKA one of the few songs in the show that actually is in my range. Do you think there's potential for something like Short Mix Short Shorts again at Disney, since Nickelodeon and CN have revived their shorts program with cartoons? I don't really know. It just depends, because Disney Channel and like Disney TVA for like, TV shows, it's in this weird place at the moment. Because Amphibia and the Owl House are going to soon be over. And at that point, we will just have Ghost and Molly McGee, Big City Greens, and Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur when that premieres. Moon Girl might have some like story-focused thing going on, but at this point, Disney seems to very much be going with the Disney brand, which, as much as we all hate that, it's what's happening. That's getting really off topic from the question. It was asking if I thought about like shorts programs. I don't really know, because Disney, we know from like the Owl House and like Gravity Falls, and Disney keeps pilots for their shows very close to their chest, as in they don't allow most of them to get released publicly. I mean, the Gravity Falls pilot, it basically, Alex Hirsch had to release the Gravity Falls pilot in the scavenger hunt. And even then, it had to go in like a flash drive and the whole thing, because he couldn't release it publicly legally, which, was just very weird, but What would I think of a Bambi Disney? Oh, I've already answered that. I think it's really cool. I think there are a lot of classic Disney movies that could use a dark ride. I've spent way too many nights staying up late thinking about how cool an Oliver and Company dark ride would be, but that would never happen. Another one, Great Mouse Detective, would make for an amazing attraction. Like, could you imagine just like how they would do that? Especially with like the Big Ben fight scene at the very end, how cool that would be. But oh well. Thoughts on the Apple TV's Central Park? Favorite character and favorite musical numbers from it? Central Park, I absolutely love it. I have not yet seen the second half of season 2. Let's see. Favorite character? I love them all, but it has to be Molly. Molly and Birdie. Those are my two favorite characters from Central Park. Oh Lord. Favorite musical numbers from Central Park? Die Trying. Trying Too Hard. Own It. Why Bother? That's another good one. I just love all those songs so much. But yeah, those are just like a handful of my absolute favourites. I'm guessing since you live in the UK, you've never heard of ABC's Holy Moly, which is a shame because it's hilarious and the Muppets are joining the show for its 4th season. I have. Well, I've heard of it. I haven't seen it, but I did see, obviously, because the Muppets Twitter posted the trailer of it's like this golfing game show that the Muppets are gonna do like a cameo in, which I really want to see it. I don't know how I can find a way to see it, but I will find some way, because any Muppets content is greatly appreciated these days. Speaking of which, the Electric Mayhem series, that recently started filming, and according to the puppeteers, it's going to be absolutely incredible and going to have a lot of heart, which is what we need. Because what we need right now is another long-form Muppet series. or just any like long form Muppet thing. Because I've talked about it in the video. Muppets Now was very disappointing. Very disappointing because of how it had to. Obviously, it was made under circumstances, but it had to split up the entire cast. And I'm sorry, watching just one or two Muppets interact with each other is not as interesting as watching this whole group together. There was also the case of there was no music, and it just felt so mean-spirited and bitter, especially like how they handled Miss Piggy and Kermit. So, yeah, I am really excited for the Electric Mayhem, and hopefully it leads to a brighter future for the Muppets. Have I listened to The Owl House, the musical, and all the other original songs based on our favourite TV shows? I do know for a fact that the Owl House musical exists. The guy, John, the guy who wrote Little Miss Perfect and Ordinary, I do know that exists, and I'm going to listen to it eventually. Eventually. Maybe I'm just going to save it when the series is over, just so because what I always try and do is, if a series has any, like, even though it's not canon, it's not an official Disney thing, but if there is any, like, supplementary material I can find for a series, I will get it and then just not go through it. Because then I'm always just like, well, there's always just like a little bit of content that I haven't seen, so therefore it's never over. It's like, when Adventure Time originally ended, I bought like a bunch of the comics. I think I bought like 11 of the volumes, and I've still not read them. I'm probably going to end up buying all the DuckTales comics soon anyway. Speaking of DuckTales, the art book. Oh, we are on a roll with these segues today. The DuckTales art book I am so excited for, and I am really, really going to try and get the collector's edition, but I don't know how plausible that's going to be because UK. Serialized cartoons, I want them to stay. I mean, I think the idea is they're going to mostly move to Disney Plus, the serialized stuff. I think that's what's going on, because we are getting Viking School eventually. I think that's an acquired show. That's going to come to Disney Plus. Obviously, we have the Tiana series, the Moana series, which I hope those are going to have an overarching story, like Tangled the series, because that is the gold standard for a spin-off. Yeah, that's kind of what I have to say on that. I wonder if Hansel and Gretel will be story-driven. I could see it trying to, like, go the Milo Murphy's Law route of it's not entirely serialized, but, every single season there's, like, a few episodes that make up a little bit of a story arc. I think that's the direction they could kind of go. But, I mean, like, I'm excited to see what I'm excited to see what Hamster and Gretel is going to be. But at this point, I haven't really been interested in any of the speculation. I'm just kind of waiting until we actually see something from the show, which will hopefully be soon. I think D23 is this year. Imagine if Mouse Detective and Robin Hood got dark rides at Disney World. I mean, I'd be open to any new dark rides, to be fully honest. Even though I can't go on them because thousands of miles away. Well, probably not even thousands, probably a bit more than that. Million miles away. I'm a million miles away. It was basically Saturday Night Live, but with the Muppets. Are we talking about, oh god, what was it called? Muppets Tonight? I think that's what it was called. Hold on, I think I might have missed Might missed a comment. No? Okay, if you're talking about Muppets Tonight, I've seen bits and pieces of it. I'll probably check out the whole thing at some point. I mean, I heard stuff about Disney Channel being discontinued, but you never know. I mean, it would not surprise me because they're gone most other places. It has to happen eventually. That is just the sad truth of it. At some point, they are going to have to bite the bullet and just discontinue the channels. Same goes for Cartoon Network, honestly. And it's just a case of, I don't think they're going to make it another 5 years. Like, maybe even 3. I could honestly see most of those channels being gone in 3 years' time. Yo, I think the title on your latest episode is wrong. Well, I fixed it. I should have fixed it. It's been fixed. Yeah, it has been fixed now. Don't know how many comments I got on that video before I realized. I'm trying to become a writer in the entertainment industry. Do you have any suggestion for what company I should pitch to? I am not the person to give any sort of advice on that. I don't really know, because of all the stuff that's been coming out lately. It really, I don't want to discourage you at all. Like, that is not my intention in saying this, but I'm just saying it's becoming clearer and clearer every day just how fundamentally broken a lot of these companies are and how they treat their creatives. God, I guess I'm not just being biased in saying this, but technically speaking, Disney TVA is still the best, just in the sense of they somewhat give their shows a chance. It's like if they pick up a show, it's getting 2 seasons. And there is something nice about that, because it does give any show a chance to grow, and hopefully gives the people making the show a lot of time to, if they are going to get cancelled, time to think of some sort of ending. Which, just a tangent. Creators, all the cartoon creators out there that are no doubt watching this stream, do not put a cliffhanger at the end of your first season thinking that is going to force the networks to renew your show. Because it doesn't work. It never works. Just finish your story. Or just give it some kind of ending for a season. Alright, I'm sick of shows being cancelled after 1 season cliffhangers. Thankfully we're getting Clone High back, but there are many others still out there. Have I met any characters in the Disney parks? Oh, tons and tons and tons. I have so many autograph books. The last Disney park I went to was Disneyland Paris in 2013. Last time I went to an American Disney park, which was Florida, was 2009? 2009, I think. But yeah, haven't been in nearly a decade. Hopefully can go again soon. I figure that you can't give me an answer. It was worth a try. I mean, there are a lot better people you can talk to. It's like one of the major advantages of like the modern social media is it is more easy than ever to connect to, the people making these shows. Is like there are a bunch of people who have accounts on Twitter who, you know, are happy to interact with fans and answer those kind of questions. So I would suggest, trying to find someone from, a show you watch and trying to ask them there. Because, I've gotten some responses before whenever I've had to ask questions about certain shows. Back when I was younger, I used to tweet at the showrunner of SpongeBob a lot and surprisingly got mostly responses. If I met Jack Sparrow, I'd tell him about the planet Neptune and Treasure Planet. Probably think you're drunk. Then again, he probably thinks he's drunk. What was that? I love whenever I try and make a joke and it doesn't work because my autistic brain refuses to let me say anything funny. Because I consider myself like a decently funny person whenever I'm off camera. It's like, if I'm talking with friends, I can make them laugh quite easily. You put a camera in front of me and I have no idea what to say. And I start rambling on and on and on. And that's, that's when the neurodivergency comes out to play. I agree that season/series cliffhangers are annoying. What do I think of Disney TVA's approach of making original movies like Pixar and Walt Disney Animation are doing for streaming? I mean, I think go for it. I think it can only help them, to be fully honest. It can only help them, get themselves out there a bit more in the sense of, like, get them more recognizable outside of just the animation community. Because people recognize, like, obviously, they recognize Phineas and Ferb, they recognize The Owl House, they recognize Starverses, they recognize Amphibia. But they recognize them for being Disney shows, not Disney TVA shows. And if they started making, like, full movies and, like, really put some effort in them and got, like, a lot of popularity off those, it could really help them move up in the company's priority list, which is what we really need. All right, let's, okay. All right, I'm going to restart my laptop because it's bugging me. Shut down anyway. A Treasure Planet series of Jim Hawkins visiting planets from the solar system and fighting space pirates from them would be awesome. It would be. Too bad we're likely never going to get that unless, sooner or later, Disney is going to run out of those movies to pull from. And they're going to have no choice. They are just going to have no choice. I mean, I would argue Atlantis is starting to rise up the ranks a little. Because it's like I mentioned, we have that 20-year cycle where after 20 years, even the most, like, not as successful Disney movies start getting a bit more attention. So it's like we saw it in the last few years with The Emperor's New Groove, Hercules, Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like, those are a lot more promoted now than they were, like, 10 years ago. And I think we're starting to see it with Atlantis, because in the new, like, Disney Life Simulator game they're making, there's Atlantis stuff in that game. They showed it in the trailer, which was just kind of mind-blowing to see, they use stuff from Atlantis in this new game, because obviously we had some stuff in Disney Infinity, but those were just, like, very, like, cosmetic stuff. We're talking about, like, there could be an Atlantis level in this game, as in like characters. There could be some Atlantis characters, which would really be awesome to see, and hopefully it opens the door for others getting in. But no, I mean, I would love a Treasure Planet series, and who knows, maybe in a few years, if we can get it like this really big boost of popularity, I think it could happen. What are my thoughts on the case of Disney's Very Important House by Jenny Goldberg and Joan Vasquez, who wasn't picked up and Disney still owns the rights? Do I think it still has a chance? It's difficult to say, honestly. I mean, it's Joan and Vasquez. Obviously, like that's a big name because obviously created Invader Zim. It's very tricky to try and get myself into the mind of corporate executives because you'll never know someone in your entire life who loves money, but at the same time hates making money. Alright. Gonna try and get the music back up. We're gonna hope this works. If I met Esmeralda at the Disney parks, I'd tell her about... sorry, I can't read that. Do I think that a Kingdom Hearts TV show is possible, or a TV show inspired by the Kingdom Hearts franchise? I think it's very possible. There have been a few attempts, and eventually one of them has to get through. Sooner or later. Alright, let's try and get some music back on. I really hope this works. Fill up that air. Let's make sure it's not as empty anymore. And okay, all right. We've got music back. Lovely. Do I think that Disney TV shows could enter the Kingdom Hearts franchise? I'm fairly sure they won't like levels or anything, but I'm fairly sure in Kingdom Hearts 3 they had like some things from like DuckTales 2017, and did they have anything from Gravity Falls? They had something. They had some things in there. So I think it's a possibility. But a lot of I don't know. I mean, I could imagine like an Owl House Kingdom Hearts world. That would absolutely be incredible. Or Amphibia, just any of them. And maybe it's just because of the selfish reason that I want Amphibia and Owl House video games, because those worlds are so perfect for video games. But instead, the last video game that we've received at this point is... Hold on. Music's going weird again. Alright. There we go. Hold on. I think I've got this sorted now. It's just loading something. Dang it. Okay. Watch them at a Simpsons world before a Disney TVA world. I mean, it would make sense. Well, thing is, they're not above including, like, acquired properties, but it is just a case of, well, I'm fairly sure Kingdom Hearts 3 was the first one to include Pixar. I'm fairly sure. But, then again, that has always been Disney, even though it wasn't until 2006 that it was owned by Disney. Alright, I don't think we're going to be able to work on this script, because for some reason, it's... If I try and load the script at the same time, it just doesn't want to do it. So, yeah. So, we have a choice between working on the script and keeping the music. And I think I'll just keep the music and I'll work on the script later. How would you incorporate Oswald into Kingdom Hearts? I mean, the difficulty there is the fact that I don't know Kingdom Hearts. As in, like, I don't know the story. Because, I own the games. Hold on a second. I own the games, I just have not played them yet. And you can tell because this is very, very dusty. Basically, when and if I get to 50 patrons, I'm going to start a gaming channel. Which, everyone run away, hide your kids, hide your wives. But I'm going to start a gaming channel, and the first thing I will do is play through the entire Kingdom Hearts series, and just try and figure out what the hell is going on. I don't get the Kingdom Hearts story a lot either. It's so complicated and confusing at times. I mean, well, the thing is, like, you've experienced it and still don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's happening. Here's what I know about Kingdom Hearts. All right, let's go through everything. All right, that I somewhat have an idea on from just cultural osmosis. So there's these three kids, Sora, Riku, and Kairi, and something happens, and they get transported from their home called Destiny Island to this multiverse, like, pocket dimension, I guess we should call it. I don't know if that's what it actually is, but that's kind of what it is. And then Sora meets Goofy and Donald, who are trying to find Mickey. I have no idea where he's gone. And yeah, that's kind of what I remember. There are these things called Heartless, and there's the darkness that we have to fight. There are these things called Nobodies. This character called Roxas is like Sora's nobody, and he doesn't exist, but he does, and it's and then there's something about Organization 13, I believe, and that's as much as I know. Speaking of Oswald, how do I think the perfect show starring him needs to be, since the show by Matt Denner was cancelled before the pilot began production? I mean, what do I think an Oswald show needs to be? Just the team making the Mickey Mouse shorts, well, The Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse, just give them Oswald. That's all you need to do. And it'll be perfect. Alright, yeah, so we're not going to be able to work on some scripts. Alright, so I guess we're just going to keep chatting, unless there is something else I'm able to do, which I don't believe there is. If I need a summary, watch Barry's summary of Kingdom Hearts. It's super charming after playing the games, obviously. Well, I mean, I'm not going to do that because the whole point is I'm saving that for, you know, when I'm actually going to start playing the games, like, you know, and recording that. Because, you know, what's the point of playing Kingdom Hearts if all of you can't watch me just stare blankly at the screen, trying to figure out what the hell is happening? What's upcoming? Since the DuckTales art book is the first Disney TVA art book in history, could this lead to the future Disney TV art books? Because, gosh, we need Amphibia and Star vs. art books. We need art books of everything that we possibly can. I mean, I really do hope if the DuckTales book has to sell, and thankfully I think it will, and if it does, that's going to lead to others. I would say Amphibia is probably the Disney art book I want the most, just because, like, the designs in that show and the environments are so good, and I just want, you know, I want to know how this all happened. Obviously, we do know that there was a Gravity Falls art book trying to be made, and then Disney cancelled it. Trying to think what other ones that I really want to see. I mean, I wouldn't mind an art book on the Mickey Mouse cartoons, to be fully honest. I'm trying to think what other, like, show. I mean, obviously, I think there should be a Phineas and Ferb art book. I think there absolutely should definitely be one of those, just because the show has such an interesting production history. The fact that, you know, when the show turns 15 years old this year, it's kind of the 30th anniversary of when these characters were first created, which is insane to think about. Phineas and Ferb as characters have existed for, like, 30 years. 3 decades. Because they were originally, like, thought of. I believe it was because oh god, when was it? It was when they were working on The Simpsons. I'm fairly sure it was when they were working on The Simpsons. Do you think of the balance between IP-inspired shows and original shows? Controversial opinion here. I don't really care whether or not a show is, like, you know, a completely original idea or if it's based on something else. Sorry. Because no matter what you are getting, it's going to be like a new crew who have obviously had to really think this whole thing out. It's like Tangled the series being a spin-off, it doesn't do anything to devalue the amount of work the crew had to put into crafting out this story and seeing like how they were going to develop these characters and what they were going to do. I feel like there should be just as much merit, regardless of if something is based on an IP or if it's an original idea. Obviously, more original ideas are a great thing, because, you know, that's more people getting into the industry, more people trying to get their names out there and making, like, getting these creative voices heard that until now haven't been heard. But I don't agree with everyone thinking, like, you know, there's this epidemic of IP-based cartoons. Because even then, you know, those shows are still made by passionate crews trying their best to make a really good product. I'm surprised that they never considered making a complete series Blu-ray finished in third yet, despite its popularity. I mean, I'm fairly sure it's got to be coming, because they are getting a lot more comfortable with that, even if they are only as Disney Movie Rewards and the Proud Family Complete series. Did that was in Target, or was it Walmart? I think it was Target. I don't remember if that was just the regular DVD or also the Blu-ray. Same. I see many complaints about Disney Plus being just Marvel and Star Wars shows, but for me, yeah, I don't care if they are good. I don't care if they are good. What matters is same for Walt Disney Animation Studios, Vancouver, and Disney TVA shows. That's exactly what I was thinking when it comes to TV shows. However, I'm trying to stick with original shows, since IP-inspired shows, you would need the rights to the original show. I mean, well, the thing is, most of the time, it isn't a case of it's a case of studios approaching someone and basically saying, "Hey, do you want to make a TV show based on this?" So it's like when Disney wanted to make a Tangled TV show, they approached the creator and just like, "Hey, do you want to make a Tangled TV show?" And then from there, they had to think of everything themselves. Which, you know, it's very interesting. If you ever go and like listen to like an interview of how the show came to be, it's very interesting how it was made, because Disney knew they wanted a Tangled TV show before like they knew what it was going to be, what it was going to be about, or just anything like that. So it's a case of, you have to imagine that's how like it's always been. Is like, you know, could imagine them going to, you know, the Disney TVA and just going, "Hey, you know, we want a series about Timon and Pumbaa. Like, what can you do?" Because that would definitely explain how some of these shows stray incredibly far from the source material, to the point where they should practically be considered new shows. It's like, I don't think there are any arguments here that 101 Dalmatians the series has any connection to 101 Dalmatians the movie. The most important question, why is V absolutely the best character ever? Michaela Dietz, aka Amethyst, voiced her. She has a great backstory. She allowed for Camilla to really step up and for a while shut down all her haters. Well, her detractors. Haters has really lost all meaning these days. But no, I absolutely love V, and can't wait to see what they do with her. No spoilers, because I've only seen up to yesterday's lie. Some good music. I feel like there's something else I can do. Y'all give me suggestions what I should do. That's a good point. Good thing I have IP show ideas. However, I don't know if they work out or not. Michaela Dietz is so amazing, and yeah, she shut her haters. I hope she voices Kif on that upcoming Disney show from the same name. Oh no, I wasn't talking about Michaela Dietz haters. I was talking about the people who hate Camilla, Luce's mother from the Owl House, because should I save it for I think I'll save it so you can go watch the reaction to Escaping Expulsion, because I had, the moment I tell Vicky that there are some people that actually exist out there in the internet-verse who legitimately think that Camilla is a worse mother than Odalia Blight. And their reaction was phenomenal. God. There's nothing to do. Ugh. Dance with Mickey. I'm actually debating it now. Play video games, lol. I mean, I could get my Switch. Okay. What game should I play? Glad this is my life now. Yeah, that's basically what... Every time I make a video, I just have to go, yeah, this was a choice I made. Write someone funny. Write something funny. Oh. Oh, God. I don't know what to tell you. My comedic prowess is in hibernation. Alright, I guess, get an AO3 account and write Owl House fanfictions. I did actually once write a Tangled the Series fanfiction, which I believe should still be up. I only ever wrote one chapter of it, but basically, I wanted to write a version of the Tangled movie that included Cassandra. So I just wrote this, it was basically a one-shot, where it was, when they wake up in the woods, and Eugene is woken up by Maximus, who has tracked them down, that moment, I imagined, like, parallel to that, Rapunzel runs into Cassandra in the woods, and she's there because she is trying to find Flynn Rider to bring him in and prove that, she should be a guard, like, to prove herself to her dad. And, I had a lot of fun writing it. I feel like I was able to get their characters down. But, yeah, that's... If you want to go find it, oh god, what did I call it? Ah! God, I called it something. Oh god, I don't know. You can find it. I don't think there are too many Tangled the Series fanfictions out there. You can probably find it. Animal Crossing. Do I have that? I do have Animal Crossing. I got Animal Crossing. I played it for 3 months and then I never picked it up again. And now I'm too intimidated to hop back into it and see all the things I missed. I got Lego Star Wars. V is the best, no debate. Oh! Thank you so much for the super chat. I agree, V is the best. I don't know what to do. I've got Mario Kart, but I mean, like, that would require me to actually, like, really focus. I mean, I could play 50cc. Fun fact, when I was in high school, when I was a teenager and thus did not have a social life, I was actually one of the top 30 players on Mario Kart Wii in the UK. Even funner fact, I mainly use the Wii wheel. What Switch games do I have? Okay. If you can think of a platformer or a mascot racer on Switch, I have that one. So, you know, I have basically every Mario game. I have the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, I have Crash Racing, I have SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, Nicktoons Racing, I have the Spyro the Dragon series, I have both ukulele games, I have the Steven Universe and OKKO double pack, I have Adventure Time Pirates of the Enchiridion, oh, I do have the Lion King and Aladdin 2-pack for Switch. I've got that. God, I don't know. I don't know what to play. I'm swarmed by choices. I don't know. I've got Rayman Legends, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Call Vicky and just talk nonsense about their shoulder. I would love to do that. However, I'm fairly sure Vicky is at work right now. Hold on a second. Says they're active. Do I dare? No. No, because there's a good chance they might just be on break, and then I don't want to disturb them. Did I know the Nintendo Switch Sports came out today? I did. I'll likely get it at some point. However, I don't really have money at the moment. And when I get money, the Switch game I'm going to be getting is Kirby and the Forgotten Land, because I love Kirby games. Oh, Lord. Don't know. What should I play? Because I don't want to play something too demanding, because then I'll just get hyper-focused on that and I'll stop looking at the chat. I recently bought Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga for the sole reason of getting to play as the Mandalorian. Well, Din Djarin and Grogu. Oh, God. I don't know what you all want from me. Read fanfics out loud. Who's my favourite Kirby character? Meta Knight. Read fanfics out loud. Should I do that? What fanfic should I read out loud? Keep it PG. Keep it PG. Have I ever heard of Epic Mickey? I did only first game on Wii, and I played it quite a lot. But my favourite Epic Mickey game is the Power of Illusion, strictly because that's the one that features all the Disney characters I know. Because it was a 2D platformer that based on the like Illusion series that had Mickey like go around and basically find all the classic Disney animated characters, and then they'd have like their own little hub world, which was really cool. I should play that again. I'm going home tomorrow, so I'll probably like get my 3DS and I can play that again. I could link one of mine for the lols. I don't think we should do that. What do I use for my video editing? I mentioned this at the beginning of the video. I guess I'm putting my Switch down. I use DaVinci Resolve, which is just a really awesome program. Obviously, it's just slightly a bit limited, but you know, considering it is free, it lets me do a lot of really cool things. The main cool thing about DaVinci Resolve is that if you've used another software in the past, like you can choose that when you set it up, because it'll say like, oh, have you used any of these before? And if you say like, oh, I've used like Final Cut or Adobe Premiere, it will then use the layout of that software, so you'll automatically know where everything is, which I just find really awesome. Have I ever seen Kirby Right Back at Ya? I have indeed. There was a time where I went through like a major Nintendo phase, and I watched all the Super Mario Bros. Cartoons. I started watching The Legend of Zelda and Captain N, and then I watched some of Kirby Right Back at Ya. Oh god, don't know. For the irony, because we're because this is a Disney Channel, for the sake of irony, I will play a SpongeBob or Nickelodeon game. Or a Cartoon Network one, we could do that. Alright, for the sake of irony, and this being a Disney-like stream, we can either play Nickelodeon Kart Racers, SpongeBob SquarePants Rehydrated, Adventure Time, Pirates of the Enchiridion, or Steven Universe Save the Light, or OKKO Let's Be Heroes. Which these two I have not played yet, actually, despite being the biggest fan of both of these shows. I'm kind of one of those people who doesn't like starting a new game until I 100% like another one. So, you know, currently there are like 3 games I'm working to 100%, and then I will probably end up playing this. What's my opinion on Darkwing Duck? Have not seen the original Darkwing Duck yet, because once Amphibia is over, and me and Vicky are caught up with the Owl House, I've had these plans for a while, ever since the original ever since DuckTales 2017 ended. I almost called it the original DuckTales. I want to do a reaction series called, like, Enter the Disney Duckverse, where it would basically be, like, I would just be reacting to the original DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, and Quack Pack. Basically just watching that trilogy of the original Disney Duck shows. We're not counting Mighty Ducks. But yeah, so in the next few months, I'll hopefully be able to start that. Alright, so people vote. What game should I play? For the lols, I kind of want to play Nickelodeon Kart Racers just because it is... I don't think it's as bad as a lot of other people think it is, but, you know, I do think it's a bit... eh. Adventure Time, definitely. You want me to play Adventure Time Pirates of the Enchiridion. The game that, like, usually I can play for 10 minutes and then it crashes my Switch. You really want me to play that? I love Okikio, and the fact the device I'm using to watch is covered in Boxman family stickers. Oh, that's adorable. I mean, I'll play the Adventure Time game. I will play the Adventure Time game. You'll just have to deal with me restarting the Switch every few minutes. Quality game, I know. I mean, the reason I bought the Adventure Time Pirates of the Caribbean game is because, again, Adventure Time was ending, and this seemed like it would be like the last major piece of like Adventure Time expanded universe content, I guess we'll say. Because, oh god, when does it take place? It takes place during the final seasons of the show. Because, well, it takes place during the final episodes, in fact, because it includes Uncle Gumball and Fern and just the Gumball family. So this, like, takes place, like, only a few episodes before the finale. Well, what was the finale? By the way, I have not seen the last two Distant Land specials yet. So, no spoilers there either. I know, I'm terrible. I am terrible, but... things happen, things come up, and I've never just felt in the right mood to just sit down and binge watch a bunch of things. Okay, Kyo, because I don't know what it is. Okay, Kyo, we're not playing Switch. I'm going to explain to you what Okay, Kyo is, because it is an amazing, absolutely incredible show. So, imagine every, like, 90s RPG video game, and it's like this combination of RPGs, fighting games, and anime, and Western cartoons, and they just mashed it all together. And it's this absolutely incredible show, just with this amazing animation, a surprisingly deep storyline, and just really likable characters. There are 3 seasons, all of them available on HBO Max, so, you know, if you live in America and you're on that service, get on that. It's an absolutely incredible cartoon, and unfortunately it was only cut short after 3 seasons, but it did have a definite ending, so, you know, that's something. Fern best character. Lesbians. If you're talking about if OK Kyo has LGBTQIA plus representation, oh yes, it does. Alright. I want to play Nickelodeon Kart Racers. I'm playing Nickelodeon Kart Racers. It's not in there. Of course it's not in there. I think I know where it is, though. Give me a sec. It's got to be somewhere around here. Ah! I know where the game is. It's in, like, one of those game card carrying cases. But I have no idea where those have gone. So I guess we can't play that. So I guess we'll just play the next best thing. SpongeBob SquarePants, Battle for Bikini Bottom, Rehydrated. Suddenly interested. Honestly, no, just watch OK Kyo. It was one of the best shows of the last decade. What do we have in here? Star Wars. Ah. Yeah, the, I guess I can tell this story. So, I originally bought the Switch version of SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom just because I wanted it to be portable. The Switch version is really bad. As in, like, the game is fine, but I am someone who likes to 100% complete a game. And there was, like, this weird glitch where one of the golden spatulas was moved. Like, it was moved way too high for me to jump from where it should be. So as a result, I could not get that one to complete the game. So what did I do? I bought the PS4 version. just so I could complete the game to 100%. Alright, I guess we're playing SpongeBob. I probably want to turn off this volume. I'll keep remembering to look up at the chat and we'll talk about things. Just remember, you wanted this. I just watched The Owl House Season 2, Episode 1, and then your next reaction appeared, and I'll love to see you and Vicky reacting to that. Plus, it's my first time in your live. I want to say I loved your reactions. Oh, thank you so much. It really means a lot to me that just, like, there are so many people who just enjoy what I do, and it really motivates me to keep going. Unfortunately, Escaping Expulsion at this point was the last episode that me and Vicky had recorded, but I'm really going to try. What we want to do is we want to somehow find a full day where we can just sit down and watch through as many episodes as possible and hopefully get to the end of Season 2A. Because at this point we have 8 episodes to go before we are watching things that are new to both of us. Alright, guess I'm just going to continue. I'm just going to continue the game because I can't be asked starting a new one at this point. Alright, we'll probably keep the stream going for like another hour, maybe 2. Maybe not 2. Just another hour, then we'll stop it. And I'm not interested, so I'm just going to keep running through. Oh, that's right. The button mapping on the Switch version is weird. Oh, yeah. Okay. I feel really bad for the people coming onto this and they're just going to see me just playing my Switch. Because this is what people voted I do. I don't know, maybe I'll play this for like 20 minutes, then we'll try and think of something else to do. By the way, please, please, please do put things in the chat, even while I'm playing a game. Because I need to try and keep this interesting for all of you. Even though apparently this is what you wanted, which I don't understand. Don't blame me, I voted that you dance with Mickey. Heading off to build some Warhammer, looking forward to more Owl House reactions. Oh, I remember Warhammer. I tried to get into that at some point, but it was too tedious for me, let's say. Now that's right, you know. Painting the miniature figures was too tedious for the guy that often spends 11 hours building a jigsaw puzzle. You heard that right. There we go. Yeah, I was wondering about your reactions of Season 2B, and I'm thinking that probably will be more interesting with Vicky up to date with you. Yeah, no, hopefully it's going to be coming very shortly. We won't be able to record anything this weekend as I'm going home, as I do have an important family function to attend. Oh, hold on. Sorry guys, a friend is messaging me. asking me if I'm free. Alright. Yeah, alright. I'll play this until 6:30, which is the current time. And then I will do something else for half an hour, then we'll wrap up the stream. Ah. Ah. I've forgotten how this works. There we go, that's how you do it. It's been a while since I've played this game. Yeah, so I've recently been looking in to like how I'm going to try streaming games. To my surprise, even though it should not have been surprising at all, it requires some quite heavy-duty equipment that I do not have at my disposal. So I think we're going to have to wait a while on that, I'm afraid. I promise you eventually we will start, actually doing things with these streams, hopefully playing video games, and not building puzzles. When I saw last reaction, it was accurate with Vicky's intro, and I laughed. What are some of my favorite music themes in media? If we're talking about just instrumentals, as in oh god, like character themes. Because there's a channel I watch on YouTube that talks about musical motifs, and I'm not joking when I say one of my favorite instrumental pieces of music is the Shrek main theme. You know that that da 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 da. That was really awful, but that bit, because just the amount of ways they are able to reinvent that and use that across the entire Shrek series, it's incredible. And it makes the whole thing feel a little consistent, even in the third one, which, prides itself on not being consistent in that it's not very good. But yeah, I also, obviously, I really love all the Amphibia music and the character themes in those, especially... I think they released Sasha's at the end of season 2, and I absolutely adored that one. And then of course there's the No Big Deal music during the Andreas fight in True Colors. I mean, we wanted you doing your iconic style thing, and they kind of forgot to do it, but it's okay if they want to or not. Sorry, I don't really know what you're talking about there. Ooh. This feels weird. I'm playing a SpongeBob game while listening to Disney video game music. And it's weird that it kind of fits. I'm just gonna speedrun. I'm just gonna speedrun the game. I don't know how to speedrun. Okay. I keep hitting the wrong button for jump because I've been poisoned by the PS4 controls. Nope, that's not gonna work. What are some of yours favourite Disney video games that you've ever played? Because, like, you know, there is such a wide range of them. Fun fact, did you know that there was a Phineas and Ferb video game that came out, like, during the final years of the show that... actually, it might have come out after the show. I think it came out, like, No, it was 2015. Might come out, like, right after the show. Right as the show was ending, though. Somewhere around that time frame. It's called the Day of Doof, or the Day of Doofenshmirtz, something along those lines. And it was a Vita exclusive game. And I didn't have a PlayStation Vita, but you know, someday I will get it just to play that game. Right, I've only got to play this game for like 15 more minutes. Then we can do something hopefully a bit more interesting. I don't know why you're suggested I should play video games, alright? Because, like, you can't see anything. Hi guys, welcome to my Let's Play channel. I mean, I'll confess something on stream. Why not? I do have a bunch of like extra channels, just in the case of like, you know, if I ever want to do anything, so that I always have the names ready. So like I already have like a separate channel called like Glad and Gladiator Reactions in case they ever want to move the reactions to their own separate channel. I have a channel called Glad and Gladiator Gaming, and I have like an actual second channel which I would basically use to, you know, if it ever gets to a point where some things can't be uploaded to the main channel, I have to do them there, or just like fun like side content, that'll go there. And I've called it the Glad and Gladiator straight to video, I believe, because, you know, it's the sequel. Sorry if my writing in English is not well understood. I try my best to hear. Oh no, it's honestly fine. I don't know much about Disney games. That's fair. The thing is, there are quite a few that I've always like wanted to play, but was just never able to. One of them being Kim Possible. What's the Switch? Like I have a PS2, but I have never played that game. Or really, I'm fairly sure the only Disney game I've played on PlayStation 2 is Tarzan Free Ride, which I think goes by a different name over in the US. And I'm going to see your last reaction. Have a good day, and thanks for your entertaining content. Keep it up. Oh, thank you so much. I really hope you enjoy. Oh, Lord. Yeah, this music kind of fits what I'm doing as well. Alright, so. Does anyone want to keep asking questions so it's not just me staring at this game? No one's going to say anything? I will try and figure out something. I'm looking into streaming from my laptop screen. Then hopefully maybe I can do some fun things like take Disney quizzes live. I don't know. That might be something interesting. Might be something people enjoy. One of my favorite musical compositions of all time is Lord Dominator's theme from Wander Over Yonder. Villain themes always tend to be particularly amazing, but Wander Over Yonder's music is perfect. Oh, I agree. I absolutely adore the soundtrack of Wander Over Yonder. I'm trying to think, what's a show that I think has the best, soundtrack, score-wise? I don't just want to say Steven Universe, because that's very much like a cop-out answer. Alright, I think the show with the best musical score is She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. I think just the music in that show and how well it assists in telling the story and the way it has all its different themes that are constantly weaving in and out of each other, I think it's a masterpiece. And I think the music is one of the least talked about aspects, even though for me it's one of the best. And thankfully they did upload the entire soundtrack, so you are able to just listen to the music and just hear how amazing it is. So unfortunately, I don't have that many other reaction videos to upload at the moment. Tomorrow, hopefully, if I find the time, I will be finishing up the next Amphibia reaction, which includes episodes 13 and 14 of season 3. So that's Mother of Olms, Grimes' Pupil, Root of Evil, and The Core and the King. Alright, only gotta play this for 7 more minutes. Ooh, love The Core and the King. Oh, The Core and the King was such a great episode. Although, I'm not gonna give it away. I'm not gonna give it away. But it wasn't my favourite of the batch. soon as the stream is done, here's a fun fact. Alright. I've owned Ring Fit Adventure for almost a year, and I've never opened it, and I'm finally going to do it tonight. And I'm really excited because now that uni is over and I don't have constant dance classes and just like various movement things to do, I actually need to properly exercise, like actually make an effort to do that. So yeah, I'm going to start playing Ring Fit Adventure and hopefully that gets me motivated. Villain origin episodes are always great, but Keith David's voice acting makes everything better. Yes, although obviously young Andreas was not voiced by Keith David. He was voiced by our very own Zeno Robinson, I think? The guy who plays Remy in Big City Greens and Hunter on the Owl House. Yeah, there's an hello there, Abby. Nice of you to join us. There's an upcoming Disney game on Switch that looks like Animal Crossing, I think. Yeah, you know that. I am really excited to get that game. Hopefully, maybe by that point I'll be able to figure out how to stream things, and we can actually have some fun with that. But the main thing that has me really hyped about that game is the fact there is Atlantis content in it. Which, you know, hopefully they go a little bit further in referencing other movies. You know, I'm just saying, it would be nice. It would be very nice if they referenced a certain movie that came out on November 18th, 1988. What am I even doing? I'm praying the Chip and Dale will have a lot of references to cartoons, especially the Owl House. I don't think it is going to. I think they're very much sticking with, like... the oldest cartoon that we saw was My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, which came out in 2010. I think the most, like... At most, there might be an Adventure Time cameo. But that's about it at this point, as how modern they're willing to go. Because I think Scrooge McDuck will be voiced by David Tennant, but it's not the 2017 Scrooge McDuck. But I mean, I'm conflicted on the Rescue Rangers movie, to be fully honest with you. It's just... I don't know. Just... The celebrity voices rubbed me the wrong way from the very beginning, because it just does not feel like the characters whatsoever. And it's just the fact that it's only the Rescue Rangers. Every single other Disney character is going to sound like they should. I saw a Phineas and Ferb character in the latest Chip and Dale trailer. If you're talking about like that one lady that appears in the Disneyland crowd scene that looks a bit like Linda, I don't think it is. I think it's going to be someone who looks similar, but I don't think that's actually Linda from Phineas and Ferb. Wait, Adventure Time, isn't Chip and Dale a Disney property? I'm confused. Indeed it is, but this movie seems to be breaking all kinds of barriers. Because this movie not only has a cameo, like multiple cameos from My Little Pony characters, but includes references to shows like Jimmy Neutron, Samurai Jack, I'm trying to think, because Rocky and Bullwinkle, the Smurfs, it basically if you can think of an animated show that was like from before the 2010s, it's likely going to be referenced in this movie. And that's kind of insane to think about. So yeah, I expect that we could see some Adventure Time cameos in this movie. Because, so if you've seen the trailer, there's this point where Chip and Dale, or, well, the people claiming to be Chip and Dale, are looking at, like, this wall of, like, different parts, body parts of cartoon characters, or, like, articles of clothing. And it makes me think, like, because we know that cartoon characters are disappearing in this movie. And I think it's because it's, like, the cartoon equivalent of organ harvesting is the best way I can describe it. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on. So in one shot, you see Chip and Dale looking at just like this wall of like different cartoons characters' body parts, and they're on like these like sealed Ziploc bags. And you see Jimmy Neutron's hair. That's like front and center. One of the first things you see is Jimmy Neutron's hair. And all the others kind of like fit. They look like they were kind of made for this. They literally took a stock image of Jimmy Neutron and cropped out his hair, and it looks so bad it is hilarious. People say they saw a Krusty Krab hat in the latest trailer, though the hat in question is white, but it also has red included. If there was a SpongeBob reference in that trailer, I would have picked it out. So, I'm not entirely sure there is. Yeah. It's just... It's weird. It's like... I kind of like what they're doing with the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie. I think conceptually it's good. I just don't think it fundamentally doesn't work because they're trying to go for this whole 2D versus CGI thing when Chip is not 2D. Chip is computer generated and cel shaded, and it looks terrible. It does. And it's odd because all the background characters are animated in 2D, and they look so much better. So the only reason that Chip and Monterey Jack are in CG and cel shaded is to save money. Disney have so cheaped out on this movie, and it shows. How would I feel about a live-action CGI DuckTales movie? I don't feel good about live-action / CGI anything, to be fully honest with you. Alright. Let's see how it goes when it releases. I still don't have high hopes, though. Yeah, I'm turning off my Switch. I'm not gonna go back on this. Yeah, I don't know. It's awkward. I can sense there are people behind this movie who wanted to make something really good. But it's been held back by a lackluster budget and just... I think it's corporate meddling. I really think it is. Do I know the web shows Crash, Zoom, and Eddsworld? I do know about Eddsworld. I have heard of that. I've never watched it, but I do know quite a bit about it. I know someone who legitimately can't tell the difference between cel-shaded 3D and actual hand-drawn animation. Would be Disney boss's dream if no one could. Yeah, it would. But Classic Disney animators worked on this movie. They worked on Lumiere, they worked on Flounder, they worked on all the background 2D characters, and those look great. It's like Roger Rabbit levels of quality in those characters. But the main cast, it is a problem when your CGI version, like the version of this character that's supposed to look ugly and is supposed to be CGI, looks better than the other characters. That is a problem. How did I get to know Eddsworld? I think I just cultural osmosis. I've seen it referenced a lot online. I think I might have watched like some videos about like the history of it at some point, because I mean, what else do we do on a Friday night other than watch YouTube videos about pieces of media that we have no intention of ever consuming? If you were to have Linda Cardellini, Wendy, and J.K. Simmons, Ford, voice the character in Amphibia, who would that be? I don't know, because Amphibia's ending. I don't know. Sorry, I can't really answer that. I'm not really good at that. Have you seen a lot of 80s and 90s cartoons? I have. I've seen quite a lot of them. I used to like really just be obsessed with like retro animation. So just off the top of my head, I've seen all the 90s Steven Spielberg cartoons. So Animaniacs, Tiny Toons, Freakazoid, Toonsylvania. There's another one. Yeah, I've seen all of those. Obviously, I've seen a lot of the Disney Afternoon. I've seen Recess. I've seen like all the spin-offs. I've seen Timon and Pumbaa, all those. I've watched all the 90s shows. I've watched Hey Arnold, Rocko's Modern Life, Rugrats, obviously SpongeBob, Wild Thornberrys. I adore cartoons from the 90s especially. Tour of my room. I'd rather not. It's a mess. When I move out, you can get a tour of my new room. I'm gonna subscribe because I like your content. Oh, thank you, Nikki. It means the world. Thank you so much. If Doug were to get revived or rebooted, where do I think it would go? If Doug were to get revived or rebooted, it depends who owns it. Because Disney bought it, but Nickelodeon still markets it. I don't know nearly enough about like rights and all that to comment. JB Last. Oh yeah, I forgot to subscribe too. Ha. Well, what are you doing? It's right there. Can't miss the button. Now I'm picturing J.K. Simmons yelling for pictures of Frogman, but I could also see him as a cop or Ford Pines cameo. I mean, it would be kind of cool if they found some way to bring back Mr. Pond and Frog Seuss. Even if it was just like a quick cameo, if they found some way to bring them back, that'd be really funny. Alright, we've got about 20 minutes left on the clock, so shoot me your questions. I will do what I can to answer them. I'm literally watching this stream in church. Oh. I can't step foot in a church. If I dared to try and step foot in a church, I would just combust into flames right there and then. Same goes for me and all my friends. So, we've got that going for us. If they revived Doug, I would want to see everyone aged up and see them do LGBT characters. I mean, I want to see every single animated show do LGBTQIA plus characters. More representation is only a good thing. You still up to date with the Owl House, or will I be watching together with my friend? I'll be watching it with Vicky. So at this point, I have only seen up to and including Yesterday's Lie. I've not seen Follies at the Coven Day Parade or anything from there. So please be respectful of that, because, I really want me and Vicky to have this pure reaction, because once we get to Yesterday's Lie, making my best friend watch the Owl House, that series is going to end. And then they're just going to become regular Owl House reactions again, but now with Vicky included. Do I think I would like to watch the new Disney Plus movies coming up, like Sneakerella? I think Sneakerella looks interesting. One movie that I haven't watched yet really want to is Better Nate Than Never. I think that's what it's called. It's the one about the kid that wants to be a musical theatre person, and so he goes to Broadway and auditions for Lilo and Stitch the musical. That I really want to watch, because when Disney Plus first started, they had a lot of content geared towards theatre kids. It's like they had the show Encore, where Kristen Bell reunited a bunch of a high school theatre class and got them to redo one of their old shows. That was really cool. I wish they did that for a bit longer. And they had High School Musical the series. Well, High School Musical the musical the series. That was another thing that felt really geared towards theatre kids, which I only ever watched 3 episodes, but it was good. It was pretty alright. I might watch the whole thing at some point. When I think about Owl House Amphibia, I get back to Real Ghostbusters. That's the first time I got emotional over a cartoon. Have I seen the new Proud Family revival yet? I have. I want to make a video on it, but it's going to take a while because I have the Amphibia video, I have a Bob's Burgers video, and then I have 2 Tangled videos before I could even think about talking about the Proud Family louder and prouder. To get down my thoughts just quickly, overall, I enjoy the show. I think it's, I think the writing hasn't skipped a beat. It's all still very witty and fast-paced. I think the animation at times can look gorgeous. And I think for the most part, they have really tried to keep the characters, true to who they were in the original series. I think they've addressed some of the problems that the original had. And I think they've made some of them a lot worse. And then there's the whole issue with the fact Penny and her friends are now 14 again, which retcons a lot of Season 2 and the Proud Family movie. So even though they have these new designs, they are still 14 years old, because for those that don't know, Disney has this thing where their cartoon protagonists aren't allowed to be any older than 14. So that's why, some of them can progress to 15, like Star did, but they have to start the series at 14. So that's why the Owl House and Amphibia wanted to have their characters, 16, 17, but then had to age them down. So because of that, you constantly feel the Proud Family Louder and Prouder hitting its head against this storytelling ceiling, where they want to tell stories about these characters being older, but they just can't, because they are being forced to keep them 14 years old, and in essence, retcon a bunch of, the classic episodes that they are referencing. So it's just, I have weird feelings on it. It's a good show, I enjoy it. I don't think it works as a revival. It makes me incredibly cautious about them ever doing this again with, say, Kim Possible. And personally, if you gave me a choice between this show and ending the Proud Family with a Proud Family movie, I would choose the Proud Family movie. I like the Proud Family Louder and Prouder, but I don't think it works as a revival. I think they still count all the past episodes and the movie as canon. Well, they don't, because Penny starts the series, the original series, Proud Family. Penny is 14 years old. By the movie, she's 16. So sometime during season 2, she turns 15. So, which basically means around half of season 2 and the movie are no longer canon, because at the start of the Proud Family Louder and Prouder, they're all 14. Just how Kim and Ron have kids in the sequel series so that Kim and Ron can be older. Thing is, if Kim Possible comes back, I want it to be about Kim Possible. But I don't want it to be about Kim Possible if they're just going to put everyone back in high school. I want either them to show them in college, or I want them to do it, when they're a lot older. When, when Kim becomes an agent of global, GA, the secret agent organization they had in the show that appeared multiple times. Because in the DVD bonus features of A Stitch in Time, they reveal that is what Kim's future is. I think they're canon except for the age change, but it's just, what is the point? What is the point of just not having them start out as 16 years old? It's confusing, and it's the fact it so desperately wants to be a revival, but it fundamentally cannot be, and therefore it's a reboot of the show. It's like an alternate continuity, and I prefer the older episodes a lot more. I would not think too much about it and just go with it. It's hard not to, though, because in a lot of ways it feels like it's been regressed. Because everything that felt like, wrapped up in the Proud Family movie is like Penny and Oscar reached a newfound respect. They kind of, improved their relationship greatly. And now we've just gone right back. At least they had an episode with them in college, which kind of just brings up more questions than it should. Because it just feels like, the Disney executives made these confusing mandates that the characters still had to be 14 because that's as old as they're allowed their protagonists to be. And because of that, it's held the entire series back. And the writers are not allowed to tell the stories that they desperately want to tell with older versions of these characters. According to one of the guys who did Spider-Man, main characters are more interesting when they are single and in school. Yeah, I reject that notion. Because there are a lot more interesting things you can do than just have, high school kids. Case in point, how many movies exist that focus on adult protagonists doing adult things? Okay, well, I guess it's subjective. I have no problem with it. I mean, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. I think it's just a matter of I spent a lot of time watching The Proud Family, analysing it, looking through every single part of that franchise. And then I see a revival that disregards most of it. disregards most of the character development that went on in the original series, disregards a lot of, important things. It feels like it takes away, and the Proud Family Louder and Prouder in a thesis statement, it feels like it takes away a lot from the original series, but doesn't add anything new. Unless we're talking about out-of-date stories about internet cancellation, which that was just... I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That episode was really bad. I really did not like that one. I would love for a flashback episode that shows Oscar and Trudy met and started dating. Yeah, I think that would be really cool. Becoming 21 is not the end of one's story and struggles. There are tons of narrative. Indeed, there is. I can say with certainty, I've only been 21 for about 4 weeks, and it's been very eventful. All right, we have 9 more minutes to go, people. So, if anyone wants to throw out some last-minute questions, get on that right now. And if you miss it, just, hold on to it and save it for next Friday, because we'll be back, same time, same place. Do I think it's worth the compromise to air a story on a major network? It really comes down to what that compromise is. If it is a case of having to make a few changes, just like to appeal more to what the network mandates, like their target demographic. As much as I would have loved it if Amphibia and the Owl House, if Luce and Anne were older, like the creators originally wanted, them being younger did not hurt the show. Them being the age they are does not negatively impact the show. So I think those compromises, fine. If it's a case of removing things like LGBTQIA+ content, that is something that people need to fight for. And thankfully, more people are fighting for it, because we have the Owl House, we have Steam Universe, we have She-Ra, and we have just a bunch of shows. We have Craig of the Creek. Just a bunch of shows that we would not have had before. And it's only because people fought for it. So it is a case of, whenever you look at an interview from a creator of a TV show or a showrunner, the one thing that always comes up is they have to pick their battles. It's what things are they just going to have to roll over and submit to whatever the network wants, and what things are they going to fight them on? And that's just something I'm afraid I don't have an answer to. Do I have any thoughts on Disney's other sister channels in general? I mean, Disney XD, putting the 2 letters together in chat is giving the actual vote for some reason. I mean, I like Disney XD because, for the longest time, it was pretty much the only place they had cartoons. I mean, Phineas and Ferb, Kick Buttowski, oh god. Fish Hooks didn't air on Disney XD. Jimmy Two Shoes, Wander Over Yonder, Star Versus, DuckTales, Big Hero 6. A lot of good shows, although personally, it would have just been better if they had them all on the one network. And then live action shows, I mean, you have Kicking It. That is a top tier quality show there. Zeke and Luther, I enjoyed from what I remember of it. I can't wait till you and Vicky are all caught up with season 2 of The Owl House. It's taking everything in me not to spoil it, which don't worry, I won't. Thank you so much. We're going to try and get caught up as soon as we possibly can. Originally, I would have loved it if we could get caught up before the season 2 finale, but it's seeing that's probably not going to be possible. We might be 2 or so weeks behind. But no matter what, those 3 specials coming up, we're going to be reacting to those. We're going to be involved with the discussion with everyone, and that's when we're going to, I mentioned, like, once me and Vicky were caught up, we would be including, like, a section towards the beginning of the video where you guys can send in your headcanons or theories, and we'll talk about them. What will be my focus after the Owl House ends? My focus after the Owl House ends is what the focus of this channel has always been. Scripted content and video essays. Reactions are still going to be a part of that, but it's not going to, overtake everything as it has, like, previously. Basically, once the Owl House and Amphibia end, I won't be starting any reactions to current Disney shows. I'm still trying to debate what I'm going to do about The Ghost in Molly McGee, because I feel like I've committed to that show now, but at the same time, I feel like I've committed to that for like the 2 to 3 years it's going to be running. So, God, it's difficult because I made a thread about this on Twitter. I know most people know me for my reactions. They view me as a reaction channel. But that isn't what this channel is. That's not why I made it. I made it because for video essays, the things that I put so much work into, just weeks worth of, researching and writing and recording and editing and getting the music and the images. I love making reaction videos, but over time it's felt a lot more of a chore. It's felt like something I've had to do more than something I've wanted to do. So I'm kind of excited for both and for Amphibia to end, just so I can have just a little bit of a break from that. I miss the Owl. You will miss the Owl House. Yes, I will miss the Owl House when it ends. I'll miss all of them when they end. I'll miss Amphibia when it ends. I'll miss the Owl House when it ends. I still miss DuckTales. I still miss Starverses. I miss them all, But that's just the Disney way, 4 years, or 4 years maximum. 4 years maximum, 3 or 4 seasons maybe, and you're out. That's the Disney way. I don't like it, but I've learned to live with it. Alright, we have 2 minutes left. Last question, let's get them down. What are my thoughts on the Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers movie trailer they released recently? I went on a whole rant about this earlier in the stream, so we'll just give the Cliff Notes version. I think there are some interesting things happening with the movie. I think you can tell there are people behind it genuinely passionate about wanting to make something good. But the budget they have been given is awful, because all the background characters and side characters are animated in 2D, and they look really great because they've had like Disney legends animating them. The main characters, like Chip, is CGI modeled and cel shaded to look sort of like it's 2D, and I just do not think it looks very good. And also the celebrity voices, and it just does not feel like Chip 'n Dale at all. And now that's kind of like the main thing, because it's not just a case of them doing something different with it. It's a case of them doing something different that I don't think works as well as they think it does. What obscure Disney characters do I want to see walking around the park? Oliver and Company characters. Oliver and Company characters. Mark my words, I don't care how long it takes. I don't care what has to happen. One of these days, I will go to a Disney park, and there will be a Dodger mascot costume there. I'm not dying before that day. There's no news on the Owl House and Amphibia Funko Pops. I guess it was a lie. Not necessarily. Not exactly. I mean, it would take a lot. But the thing is, those things take a long time to make. So it could be a case of, because the Gravity Falls Funko Pops came out after the show ended. The Star Versus ones were like, I think, were they season 3? They were quite close to the end, I believe. I think they might have been in between seasons 3 and 4. Maybe. But that's just the thing. Merchandise takes so long to make, which is why you often don't see it for Disney shows, because of their stupid 3 seasons and you're out rule. By the time the merchandise would get out, the show would be over, which is what happened with Gravity Falls. So, if you're wondering why there isn't any, enough merch of these shows, unless it comes out when the show starts, it's not going to happen. But, those things, like Funko Pops and everything, like the licensing and the designing and the building and the manufacturing, it takes so long to make. So Owl House and Amphibia things like Funko Pops could still be coming. It's just going to take a while, and chances are it won't be until after Amphibia is over and the Owl House is like maybe right in the middle of airing those 3 specials. What's the best 2000s era live action / toon mix movie? Oh, best 2000s era live action / CGI movie. Trying to think. Thing is, they've all just skipped my mind. Let's see. The Rocky and Bullwinkle movie. That might be the 90s though. That's decent. Don't can't really tell you. It's sad that there is 2 Disney sitcoms currently who broke the 3 to 4 season rule. Yeah, that's just, that's the way it goes. It's mainly the fact that it makes sense for their sitcoms, because that's just something that even Nickelodeon does, 3 to 4 seasons is the most, because it's the whole thing of your audience is tweens and teens, and they're eventually going to grow up and stop watching Nickelodeon. And on top of that, you have a cast that is going to age out of these roles. You don't have that problem with animation. And Disney knows this, because Phineas and Ferb ran for 8 years. So I don't understand it. If there is any show I think that currently has a chance of getting a 5th season, it is Big City Greens, just because that show is huge right now, which I'm really happy about, and I cannot wait for the movie, because not counting Candace Against the Universe, it's been a long time since we have had a big TV movie based on a show for Disney. Would I watch an animated reboot of a live-action Disney movie? Absolutely I would. 100%, yes. If Disney wants to turn around and someday and just say, hey, we're making an animated Mary Poppins movie, I would be all for that. I disagree with that. Adults watch cartoons too. I wasn't talking about cartoons. I was talking about the live-action sitcoms. So, it's not a case of just adults watching them too. It's a case of their primary demographic are, young kids to early teenagers, and eventually they grow out and stop watching those shows. It is a fact of life. It does happen. Some people are the exceptions, but it's not enough for networks to see and be able to continue the show. And it's also the case of you have the actors who will eventually, the actors grow up and they can't stay in that high school setting forever. The actors will grow up and they'll want to branch out and play other things. I'm going to be 32 and I still watch cartoons. I'll always be a child at heart. I mean, I'm 21. I'll be watching cartoons forever. in 50 years, when, you know, they just get beamed into our brain, I'll still be watching. I mean, one of my goals in life is to live to see the 100th Disney animated movie. And currently we're on 59 with Encanto. So, you know, I actually... Are we on 60? No, Encanto was 60. Yeah, it was. Yes. So it means I've only got 40 more to live through. I can do it. Have live-action sitcoms gotten worse, or am I just being nostalgic? The last, like, live-action sitcom, like, from Disney Channel, I remember, like, teenage sitcom that I really enjoyed was Good Luck Charlie. Liv and Maddie I thought was decent. I remember enjoying a few episodes of that, but I never, like, watched the whole thing. I Didn't Do It was alright. But outside of that, I haven't really been watching any. I tolerated Jessie, I would say. You know, I did often watch it, and, you know, I found some enjoyment in it, but I would never call it, like, a favourite show of mine. But no, I think it's... I don't really know. I don't think anyone can definitively say if live-action shows on these networks have gotten better or worse. Unless we're talking about Nickelodeon. Because a lot of those shows still hold up. And the new ones do not. I'm just not even talking about shows that... I think the best thing you can do to, like, determine that is watch a show that came out from your childhood that you did not see. So, like, when I watched, like very early Disney Channel shows, like, I never saw Lizzie McGuire growing up. And I think it's a good show. I never saw Zoe 101 growing up. I think it's a good show. And so that kind of tells you that the fact that, you know, there was certainly something about, like, that era specifically. But I don't want to get down on, like, modern shows, because, you know, every show is different. Every show has the chance to beat the odds and be something incredible. We've been going past the time. Alright, these last few things here, these are the last ones I'm going to do, alright? I forgot to ask, when is the next Patreon Discord stream? If you're talking about movie night, that is going to be... The first ever Patreon exclusive Discord movie night is going to be next Wednesday. We're going to be watching Kim Possible, So the Drama. And, you know, if you want to be included in that, all you got to do is head over to the Patreon and you can figure out the rest from there. I love the Owl House even though I'm straight. Ha ha ha. I mean, you know, look. That's a glowing recommendation of the show right there. The best thing Nickelodeon can do is make Hey Arnold Season 6. I would love a Hey Arnold Season 6. I would also love a Wild Thornberrys, like, sequel or reunion movie, because that is, like... Outside... The 4, like, biggest Nickelodeon shows that I watched growing up were, in order, SpongeBob, Jimmy Neutron, Fairly Odd Parents, and the Wild Thornberrys. I love the Wild Thornberrys. I recently watched the whole thing again, like, a year ago, and it still holds up exceptionally well. What looks better, the new Rescue Rangers or the new Fairly Odd Parents? The new Rescue Rangers. Even though I don't like how it looks, it's, you know, there's some effort went into it. Well, no, I cannot say that, because... Like, Nickelodeon have those animators on crunch time, which is why it looks so awful, because they literally have not been given any time or budget to do it. Alright, we are going to wrap it up there. Right, so let's just skip right to the end of this and get our classic exit music. Oh yeah, Hey Arnold, I'm one of those people who signed the petition to push through the movie. Well, I mean, we got it. Alright, we are going to wrap it up here, folks. If you have any other questions for me, be sure to save them for next week, same time, same place. I hope you all enjoyed this, first ever, well, the pilot, I guess, of the weekly live streams. Despite the technical difficulties we've been experiencing throughout this whole thing. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Be sure to check out all the latest content coming to the channel. As I said, tomorrow I'm going to try my best to get out a new Amphibia reaction, and from there we'll see where it goes. I'll try and get some things sorted for next week to come out, but I don't really have a lot at the moment because I haven't recorded a lot, and obviously the Amphibia video essay is taking up a majority of my time that isn't spent looking for jobs. But yeah, I forgot my outro. Why? How can I forget my outro? Thanks so much for watching, folks, and I'll see ya real soon.